Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Hops News. We have a fun one for you tonight, as it's just, you'll notice me and Lauren. However, we do have a special guest that I will get to in just a moment. We have a lot of exciting things, and going to be kind of a short episode, as I have to get to a basketball game tonight, and a bunch of other fun stuff. So without further ado, as always, if you can go ahead, go to Hops News on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, any of those platforms. Make sure you like, share, anything like that. That helps us grow the podcast. And it's free. It's free. As Jeremy says, hey, a like and share is free. So go ahead and do that. And then, as always, make sure you go to hopsnews.beer. And I am 1 second. I am live on all of them. Good. Jay is our man. He is not here right now. You'll notice Jeremy is not here. He's dying currently. So Jay, if everybody could just crack open a beer, pour one out for Jay, do that. And great. I had to share everything. We're good. Go ahead. Go to hopsnews.beer. Hoppy's been killing it with the website. We've been writing articles. We're doing a lot of good stuff there. Go ahead. Share that as well. Leave some comments there. And it's all free. It's all free to do. Thank you so much. We're going to talk about some great things. We have a lot of news tonight. We're going to share a couple things that Bottle Share has been up to, and we're going to talk about some events that are coming up that yours truly may be at, and a couple other people. Lucky is also not here. He's out living his best life, as you see. Lauren, I thought you were going to start drinking right from the bottle there for a second. I was a little worried. Well, why don't you go ahead and tell us. What are you drinking? Tell us.
Oh, I'm drinking a Monster Energy drink.
A what?
From the Cigar City.
A Monster Energy drink?
These are the jokes, kid. So Monster Energy drink, one of the news items we're going to talk about, they bought out the company that owns Cigar City Brewing. So I'm popping open a Cigar City stout with fruit and cocoa nibs aged in bourbon barrels called Laugh is Lack.
Ooh, I did hear that
I haven't even tried it yet, but it smells fantastic.
It's only a matter of time before we get monster flavored beers, right? At this point, Monster, this is a Monster Energy stout, brother. We brewed the sickest beer with your favorite orange flavor of Monster Energy drinks.
Isn't that what seltzers are?
I guess so. I don't know. I don't really drink. The only seltzers I drink are pumpkin from Shipyard, so
yeesh.
I'm not very cultured.
This is like Hunapoo a little bit. I mean, this is some serious
that's
shit
pretty dark.
Right here.
You opened a whole bottle. I'm kind of impressed. You opened a whole bottle to yourself?
Well, I'm sure there will still be some when Josh gets back. We're going to finish after this. We're going to finish the season finale of Yellow Jackets.
Oh, I have to start that. I've heard nothing but good things. I thought you were busting up a bottle with all that internet talk that was going on before the show. With all what I was telling you about Kaylee
the website comments?
It's funny because Kaylee was in the background we pay too much to have not enough internet in this whole house, and I was like, Kaylee, you are talking to my soul right now. This is the exact conversations I constantly have. I'm like, why am I paying for internet? Blah blah blah. It's like the old man that I am.
But did you hear my daughter though? She's like, for how much we pay? I'm like, do you have any idea how much we pay? She's like, no.
I know. She was like, I know.
Lot.
It is. Gosh dang it. I pay over $100 to get no internet. What is this? This is ridiculous. But no, Lauren's here. Before we get to some news and stuff, I want to introduce the beautiful man that you see to my right. And Dustin, what's up, brother? Dustin is from Bottle Share. We got the Bottle Share boys, the Geeks crew.
Yeah.
We are living it. What's up?
Cheers to that.
What you drinking over there? Looks like another good stuff. Am I the only one who doesn't have a dark beer tonight? Uh-oh, I didn't get the memo.
Yeah. Get it together, bud.
I know, and that's your favorite.
I have a basketball game that I got to go to in an hour. I can't be loading up on stouts and expected to play 45 minutes of a full court basketball game and carry my team like LeBron James, okay? I'm fighting for a contract. I'm trying to get a Supermax deal.
LeBron James gets carried off the court when he gets cramps in his legs.
Listen, Dustin, I'm going to let you finish real quick, but I just want you to know that my team, I wasn't there last week, and they got mercy ruled. It was so bad. While every other time that I have been there, it has been very close and we've won games. So look, I'm just saying I'm going to be signed to a Supermax deal. LeBron James, I am the LeBron James of my team. Okay. Thank you. Now,
don't say that. I like you.
Dustin, what are you drinking, man?
I got an 1840 Mexican drinking chocolate. Figured a little bit of a pregame for the Stout Fest that's happening this weekend.
Yes. Go ahead,
Uh,
run us down. What's Stoutfest? And obviously you're going to be there, right?
I am. Well, there's a couple different Stout Fests. Like Mobcraft is a Stout Fest, which is pretty stellar. But yeah, 1840s is this weekend. They just kind of shut down the street in front of the brewery there, and they got a bunch of cool beers they're releasing. One I'm pretty stoked for is are you into mead at all?
I am. You know, I've tried some, and every time I've had like a good mead, I don't hate it. You know, it's something that I'd like to dive a little bit more into.
All right. Well, if you've heard of Pips, which is, if I'm not mistaken, like the top rated thing on all of Untapped, they are a meadery that is about 45 minutes south of where I live. They put up a barrel, and 1840 put one of their beers in it.
Nice.
So I'm very excited to try that.
That's gonna be good.
My buddy, yeah, I think it's gonna be. One of my buddy that I'm going with is actually vegan, and it's a milk stout, and he is strongly considering putting being vegan on hold for about an hour.
Let's hope the vegan police don't show up like in Scott Pilgrim.
Well, I haven't eaten any pork or beef in, I don't know, 25 years, but I have had one or two beers that have bacon in it, or you know, some like I used to be like, oh, is there bacon? I think some of them are just smoky flavors and don't actually have bacon in them.
Mhm.
But it's not something I look into. It doesn't count.
Telling on you, your secret. Look, you just put it out to the world. Everybody's gonna know.
I'm already a fake vegetarian. I eat poultry and fish. I'm already cheating.
You're just kind of doing your thing.
Disgusting.
Exactly. I make my own rules.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
The way the world is, we should all make our own rules a little bit more.
I'm here for that.
Is that fest on Saturday? Are they gonna be blasting the Packers game pretty much everywhere out there? Wisconsin.
If you're not watching it, you're going to be hearing about it.
You're right.
Whether you want to or not.
Very true. I have a beer releasing with Woodland Empire that I went and brewed, and it's like, shit, you guys had to move it to this Saturday. I'm sitting here doing the math because I'm like, the Packers, they start at 6:15 my time. I got to get here at this time so I can enjoy this and it's because I got to find a TV. I'm going to be decked out. I got to get to a TV, all that stuff. It's going to be crazy.
I think pretty much everywhere in the entire country, you're about a half an hour from a Packer bar. So
you know, it's funny you say that. There's a brewery in downtown Boise called Clairvoyant Brewing, and they are actually a Packers brewery. So they got the flag up there. They're broadcasting the game. The owners just went to a game I think the final home game of the year. They went to it was the Vikings Sunday Night Football game they went to. And I hit him up. I was like, "You guys gonna do the Packers?" They're like, "Hell yeah, we're playing the game." And then there's a place called Jameson Whiskey Bar in Boise, and actually, the owner of that bar is a former Green Bay Packer himself. He was on their offensive line when they won the Super Bowl 10 years ago, 11, whatever it's 12 years ago at this point. Gosh, so I might, if they have a TV, I might go there and try to become friends. You know, as a fellow Packers owner, I got to go and check on the former players, make sure they're doing okay. How's your health? As a Green Bay Packers owner, it's my duty. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's
I have a responsibility.
I do have a responsibility.
Yeah, an obligation, if you will.
Look, somebody has to do it. You know, especially if they go to the Super Bowl. You know, as an owner, I have to go there. I'm obligated to my team. So that's all I got to say about that one. The wife may feel differently, but I'm not drinking beer tonight. Oh, I know, sacrilegious. I thought about it long and hard, but then I was like, I do have a game. So I do have two beers though to promote. I've got a couple Woodland Empire beers here. It's always a mess trying to get the camera. So the first one's the Bull, the Sourdough Wild Ale. I'm sorry. I think this actually might be for you, Lauren, because I had one left that I meant to send you. So
that's the one that they make the bread with the yeast from the beer and the beer from the yeast from the bread, and it's like Inception.
This is a wheat beer fermented with sourdough culture. So they actually brew this with like the sourdough yeast. Sourdough bread beer, Inception. That's the name of the game this year for the 6th iteration
Hey.
of Bool, our sourdough wild ale collab with the amazing Boise Bakery Acme Bake Shop. We used their sourdough starter to brew a small batch of beer. Then they used the beer to make a small batch of bread. Then we use that bread to make more starter. In this batch of beer you hold in your hand, tart, yeasty doughy. Bool is our favorite seasonal treat and a handcrafted gift from us to you. It is wicked good. You would think you get that sourdough taste, but you really don't. It's a really good sour, really, really strong. And then this other one is from their mixtape IPA series, which, if you don't know what that is, they do a mixtape IPA series to where they actually put every beer that they make from it is named after a song, and they make a playlist based off of that. So the can here has a Spotify code on it, and you can go ahead and scan that Spotify code. It takes you to a playlist that they make, which is wicked cool. And this one is called Unholy Island. It is a double dry hopped oat cream IPA brewed with Simcoe, Huel Melon, Hallertau Blanc. I can't pronounce half these words. I apologize. I'm illiterate. And Mosaic hops. But it's a 5.7%, so it's a really light, easy drinker for an IPA, which is really good. And then the event on Saturday, I'm a little long-winded here, I apologize, but it's their 8th anniversary party, and I actually went, as you might have seen, and brewed a beer with Rob from Woodland Empire. It's going to be called Donut Geek, and it was brewed with donuts. It's a stout. It's coming out, but they're celebrating 8 years at the brewery, so they're going to have a bunch of different beers on tap. If you're in the Boise area, they're going to have an anniversary IPA, which is really good. I'm going to send it to you as well. I'm going to pick up like a whole bunch of their stuff pretty much Saturday. They have a shirt coming out, anniversary fort. So there's like a big specialty pack. So it's got a shirt, a 4-pack of beer, a glass, some stickers, and a special bottle and a screen printed canvas bag, which is limited. So you already know I'm going to hit them up and be like, set a couple aside. That way I can come and buy them and send one out to Lauren. And yeah, it's gonna.
I'm just gonna mail you. You're just give you my credit card information.
Look, let's
I'm
just
sure
make
Josh
this
loves.
stoked because they've been really good friends to the podcast, and I went there and I got to brew that beer. Rob and I brewed about 11 gallons of it, and it's gonna be on draft only. So I don't know if I can get like a 1 or 2 canned to kind of hold on to, but and at least get you some. So I'm excited for that. And after that, yeah, I got some Packers to watch. So either it's gonna go from a really high where I'm happy, and we're either going to go just all downhill from there with the Packers in the playoffs because you never know what you're going to get, or just going to ride that high into the night, baby.
And on that note,
I'm inclined to give you a little bit of shit though during the game just because you were hating on the Cowboys last week. So
look, if you're a Cowboys fan, you already know what you're going to get out of that team come the playoffs, and plus like Mike McCarthy for all the good that he did. Yeah, so Patrick says, wait, that's allowed. Look, Patrick, we don't have rules here, all right? There are no rules. No rules. None whatsoever.
except don't talk about Bruno.
Wait, there is a rule. We don't talk about Bruno. Never. No.
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 Speaking of Bruno, I did just put out a new beer video about the Arts Festival. Unfortunately, I haven't tried any of the beer yet because there was crazy people infiltrating the park to get these Epcot Figment popcorn buckets. It was a 6.5-hour line to get a popcorn bucket.
Yeah,
but
you
I
didn't
ran
even
around
wait
the
in
world
line to
real
get
quick.
me one. How could you?
I know, but I did run around the world real quick, dragged my kids with me, and was like, we got to get out of here. And I ended up, instead of having my friend meet me at the park, I texted her and I was like, we're going to Gatlin Hall Brewery, meet us there. And she's like, okay. I filled up the kids' popcorn bucket with regular popcorn. And we went to the brewery, and the kids were okay with that. They didn't even want to try to go to Universal. It was a disaster. Wow. But Universal was even trolling Disney. They're like, we didn't realize y'all liked popcorn so much.
That's what's crazy. Like, I saw a picture, and there's like people that are walking with like trash bags full of these freaking popcorn buckets and stuff.
What was it? 2 maximum, so that was people that had like a group or something. Yeah. But I did manage to get enough pictures, and I got the passport, so I did put a new video on Hops News or youtube.com/Hops News if you want to. There's Central 28's in here. That's a past guest. There's Playa Linda Brewing, 81 Bay, so a lot of local craft breweries, and I have a list of all the good beers too. And you were talking about mead. If anybody is in Orlando and does like mead, there is a spot in downtown Disney that you can get a flight of mead. It's actually a honey shop, so they sell a bunch of different honey, and they do flights of mead. So I just wanted to pimp my Disney article.
My dad actually, he used to donate like some of his honey from his bees to like a local meadery because he has a friend who runs a meadery. They used to put some of that honey in the mead and stuff, and I think that's where I tried it for the first time and was like, wow, this is actually pretty solid.
That's awesome.
That's all I
It's
got.
We have
hard.
a honey
It's
farm
hard to
not
hate on.
far down the road.
Yeah, it really is kind of hard to hate on. I don't know how to describe mead other than it'll get
It's
you.
honey wine.
It's intense though.
It is intense. So I mean, obviously, if you're gonna drink a good portion of it, don't be driving as well because it's pretty high ABV typically. But
Like
I
the
do like
Viking
meads.
blood.
The blood of my
So
enemies.
one of my daughter's friends, she's like, so and so wants to know if honey can turn into alcohol, and I'm like, yes, it's called mead. Why? And he's like, well, I had this honey that was sitting there for a while, and I opened it up, and it smells like alcohol. I'm like, well, pace yourself.
Your kids out there like, yeah, what if we stash this honey for like 8 months? Mom's never gonna know.
Should say, well, I mean, he's 18, not legal age, but I'm like, well, if you like it when you're 21, there's a whole world out there for you.
Just wait. You just
big-
wait.
It's an expensive world if you're going to start drinking with mead, but
No kidding, right?
Worse than craft beer.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
because honey is so expensive. Like,
Mm.
I mean, I guess it depends on the mead, but like where I go drink pips at, it's like $14 an ounce.
It is
Mm.
stupid expensive. Oh yeah. I mean, if you think paying $20 for a 4-pack of beer is bad, just wait till you enter the mead world. But
Yeah.
Dustin, before we
Yeah,
roll
man.
into some news that Lauren and I got, I wanted to bring you on because so last week on Monday I was at Payette Brewing in Boise, repping Bottle Share. We did a Cakes for Cause event out there, and it was a really good event. Introduced Boise to the Bottle Share world, and things really seem to be taking off from there. But we also have some things in the works. It's me, you, and Chris that have been, or mostly you. I mean, you've been killing it lately, man. Like props to you. And I really wanted to bring you in because we got some cool things going on, starting with a collab. So do you want to tell us about this collaboration that we have? And then also who all is involved in this?
Yeah. So, first of all, thanks for the props. Yeah, so we're doing a collab with Second Self down in Atlanta, and then my dear friend Lene, who on Instagram she is authentically tipsy. She's also involved in it, and it's just kind of a perfect storm of a small world of people just kind of getting together to want to do this. So we got involved with Second Self really early on in Bottle Share as Elena. It was one of our first recipients. She was one of our first grant recipients, and they reached out to us about doing a fundraiser with them. As you know, we got our start in Atlanta, so we're pretty hyper local too down there. And through that, we've become good friends with Elena and the people over at Second Self. And I randomly became friends on the internet with Lene, and she was talking about wanting to do a collab with Bottle Share. And it all just kind of came together at the same time. With this collab with Second Self, I pitched it to Elena, and she kind of talked to everybody over there, and they were on board, and it's just kind of coming to fruition here and coming out. Well, they made it a lot more fun than I anticipated because they turned a collab into their anniversary beer, which
Nice.
automatically is gonna hype it. They
Oh yeah.
yeah, they kind of came to us with that. They're like, oh yeah, we want our collab to be actually our anniversary beer for our anniversary celebration. And I was like, oh, well, that just levels everything up. And it's going to be pretty historic because their anniversary is going to be on February 22nd of 2022. So all twos.
Oh, jeez.
And that day actually happens to be a Tuesday as well.
Ooh, yes, it does.
I
It's
don't
like
know.
the
I don't
perfect
know.
storm. Every once in a while, we get really lucky where like maybe things aren't so bad. And this is one of those things.
Yeah,
See,
it just kept
so
it
silly.
just kept pounding and becoming more fun. This whole journey on this collaboration just
Dude,
reminds me personally how much I love this community, and it like validates everything, like all the efforts that we put in trying to help people out, and it's been awesome, and I'm stoked about it.
we're looking at the email chains. Like I opened my email. I was like, wow. And I didn't realize at first just how many people were pitching in to get the hops, to get the puree, to get whatever is going into this beer. I was like, dang, this feels like a home run, like a wicked big deal here. Who all is pitching in with this beer? Let's shout some of them out.
All right, yeah. First and foremost, Second Self. I mean, they're hosting the whole thing and making it a reality. But every now and again, we get suppliers that you know they'll chip in their particular material. And on this, pretty much everybody except for the yeast is like getting donated. Um, proximity malts, which just kind of it's fun being that I'm a Scani. They actually have an office. I believe their main office is out of Milwaukee.
Nice.
So that's just kind of fun. But they're putting up 25% of the malt bill. But then their rep, he's coming through and matching what the company's doing. So he's donating 25% as well. So with that, we're getting 50% of the malt donated.
That's awesome.
I don't want to mispronounce this.
It's okay. Matt already set the bar low for
Look,
that. So you're good.
if we had a drinking game on this show, it'd be take a drink every time I mispronounce something or a name.
Well, yeah,
Lauren sets
both of
me
us,
up.
especially on the geeks.
Oh my god! When it comes to
I set you
geeks,
up.
I swear she's like, "Why don't you take this name?" And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Better you."
Well,
than
I'll
me,
end up putting
sucker."
abbreviations in there, and I don't even think about it. And then he's like, "What does this mean?" I'm like, "Oh, my bad."
I'm like, "What? BK? We're going to Burger King?" She's like, "No, it's bankruptcy, you idiot."
uh, oh, that's good. Yeah. Hollingberry and Son hops. They're doing 100% of the malt, or not malt. They're doing 100% of the hops. And then
there's some people local from not far away from Atlanta too that were like, "Oh wow, I noticed that you're right up the road basically." And it's like, "Hell yeah, we'll be there."
yeah, aseptic fruit purees. They're trying, they're kicking in 100% of the peach, because the beer is going to be, I guess I forgot to mention that. It's going to be a sour beer mosa style sour IPA with peach.
And it's called
So
Totally Tubular.
yeah, tubular, like
Like
TWO.
TWO.
To
Hell
continue.
yeah. And the can
Ah,
I've seen the can art too, and the can art looks wicked sick. It's like it's really what you think of when you're like tubular, man. That's what that's the best way I can describe it. So when everybody sees it, like the colors pop out at you, you're like, I'm ready to throw it back to the 80s, and we're gonna get real weird.
I feel like I picture Michelangelo in my head.
Jason. Jason from Second Self, when he saw the first draft, he's like, "Yep, reminds me of Rugrats."
Yeah, that's what it was too. Yes.
Aw,
Yeah,
So
it's pretty
that's
fun.
cute.
And my friend Nicole, who actually helps me with my clothing brand, she stepped up to the plate and said that she would take on, in a pretty short amount of time, putting the label together.
she crushed it too.
So, oh yeah. Um, And even working with the weird time difference, because she's in South Africa, so
Oh, dude, you didn't tell
there's
me
like
that. I had no idea she was all the way out there. That's crazy.
yeah, yeah, she's in Johannesburg. So there's like this
Wow.
really small window of time when I get information that I can give to her while she's still awake.
Wow.
Because I think there's like a 6 or
I
seven
think they're 6
hour
hours
time difference.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that's
Yeah,
crazy. That is awesome.
yeah. So she's come through on that. And even the labels. Jason mentioned that the labels are getting donated. At least, at the very least, a portion of them. Um, and I don't want to mess their name up either. So give me, yeah, that was an easy one. Bellmark. Um, Bellmark is doing the labels, and they said that they'd kick in, a certain amount. I don't know 100% what it is yet, but that's also another fun one. They're out of De Pere, Wisconsin, which is
Dang.
right outside of Madison.
Wisconsin
So
stepping up.
right, so it just makes this whole thing feel a lot more homey to me.
Yeah. No, I would say like even from being out here, this whole collab that we're working on it feels special. Something just this whole everything about it just really feels special with this one. And I would kill to be out there for the brew day because the brew day is actually tomorrow, I believe, right?
It is the hops showed up today, so they are brewing it tomorrow.
Sick. And yeah, I can't wait, man. So more to come from that. If there's any places that maybe Florida gets it, something like that, I'm gonna make sure Lauren grabs me some. But be on the lookout on the bottle share pages. So Instagram, go look up the bottle share one, Twitter, all that good stuff. Check out the Facebook. Go to thebottleshare.org. And yeah, we'll have a lot more to come with that. Speaking of South Africa, I know this isn't necessarily South Africa, but I do have a little bit of news out of Africa today. If we want to slide
Mhm.
into some news, and it's that there is an all women's brewery opening up in Rwanda, which is the first craft brewery that's opening up in that area, that section of the country. It's called Queza Craft Brewery. It's going to be all women owned. And right now, you can actually go ahead and not only can you like pitch in to donate money towards helping them get their, like basically a Kickstarter for the brewery, which they've raised a ton of money for it already, but they have different tiers. So like one tier gets you on like to go out there, you have to pay your way out there, but it gets you to go out there. You do like a tour around the brewery. You get like your name on the wall. Maybe like you can pitch in like $10. You get a shirt from there, or you get a pint glass. So it could be as little like, hey, I want to give $1, but you can also give like $10 and you actually get something out of it. So they'll send you like a shirt, they'll send you a pint glass. You'll get like a certain tier gets your name on the wall at this brewery to be like, hey, you kind of pitched in to help us make this possible. And it's great to see stuff like that popping up. And I think they've gotten well over like $200,000 or something like that already. I'm not sure what the money difference, how much it would cost to really open up a brewery, because I know you got to do all the exchanges, but they seem to be crushing the goal right now, and it's really cool to see. And I think I'm gonna end up donating here soon myself to get like a shirt or something, just because it's a wicked cool cause.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, to go into that, actually, I have some somewhat similar news. So, did you know that Lebanon, Palestine, and Jordan in the past decade have really increased their craft beer market?
See, I
So,
didn't at all, which is funny because like Kuwait's a dry country, so when you deploy, you can have beers in Qatar, but you can't Kuwait because it's dry. So I had no idea craft beer was even a thing out there.
well, they said they used to just get beers like Heineken, Corona, and some sort of Pilsner. But here I got a couple quotes from the article. So, several craft breweries have opened in Lebanon, Palestine, and Jordan in the past decade, overcoming bureaucratic challenges from high taxes on alcohol to restrictions on importing ingredients or equipment, and carving out space for Muslim majority markets where many don't consume alcohol and some even refuse to do business with those who produce it at all. But they're getting more locals, and travelers are wanting to order local beer everywhere, honestly. And so they're getting local IPAs, and they're getting all sorts of other types of dishes that they can pair with these beers as well. So they're making it like experience. But there's one of the breweries is called like Wiseman Choice Beer. So they're having a little bit of fun with it because there's actually a brewery with them. But I just thought that kind of like blew my mind. Like craft beer is really just taking off everywhere. It's
Worldwide.
so
Yeah,
crazy.
right? It's you used to think like Europe, Germany, the places like that. And then America is another big
Europe,
one.
Germany.
Yeah, you know what I meant.
Yeah. I know
Europe
what you
and
meant.
Germany. Yeah, two different countries. You know, the whole EU's breaking apart now. We got Brexit. I don't know, but you don't think of places like the Middle East and Africa known for their craft beer, but it's awesome to see how far-reaching this is and how there's the today's youth or whatever you want to call it are making this push to be like, no, let's expand. Like we can still have our
Yeah.
cultural norms, but also like why not bring because we're all so connected today as far as the internet. You can talk to somebody like I talked to Tim from my friend from Australia. It's like I'm talking to somebody from Australia through a text message every day. Stuff like that blows my mind. So
Right. Well, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say it's crazy how connected we are, and it's harder to stay sheltered and things like that. So why not adapt? You just have to adapt. Cultural adaptability.
Right. And I love it because you get such a piece of local culture when you go to breweries, and like to be able to go internationally and get those bits of beer culture is even cooler. But South Africa is very underrated because it's like they don't just have beer, like they have a ton of hop farms. I mean, what is it? SAB Miller owns? Yeah, it's because it's a
Yeah.
South Africa brewer or whatever, own a bunch of hop farms out there. And I guess it's now InBev. I forget who owns what and everything. It's very
It
confusing.
changes all the time anymore. I don't know.
But
It's
speaking
hard to
of
keep up
that,
with.
should we go to Monster Energy Drink? So this news has been everywhere. I'm sure a lot of people have heard it. So Cigar City has been owned by Canarchy Craft Brewery Collective LLC. They also own Oscar Blues and a couple other breweries. They're still technically considered craft beer. So like some people, like InBev did offer Cigar City, like, hey, we want to buy you, and they considered it. And then I read an article that the owner was like, nope, I just don't feel comfortable selling to InBev, but they did sell to Canarchy. Well, Monster Energy Drink just bought Canarchy. So that is the joke that, this now Monster Energy Drink. But then there was somebody, I always get Ice Cube and Iced Tea mixed up because they both have ice in their names. One of them, though, had a video talking about it, and they called it Jai.
Interesting.
And that just highlight is a sport. I don't has nobody heard of highlight except for people in Florida? I don't understand.
I've heard of High Life, which is Miller.
Well, when I first started ordering High Life, my girlfriend thought I was ordering. She's like, "You're ordering a Miller High Life?" And I'm like, "No, I ordered a High Life."
Speaking
But
of,
yeah, he was calling it Jai. I gotta find the clip. I tried to find it before I see exactly who it was because I don't want to give blame to somebody who didn't say it.
well, I gotta shout out Jess real quick. She commented on one of my picture, that I posted of me and my heterosexual life mate Josh. This was taken like 10 plus years ago, but yeah, I mentioned the We Were Young festival that everybody has heard about, and elder emos everywhere are flocking to get tickets for. And she was like, my husband won't stop playing this playlist, and I feel like I'm 4 years too old. It's like, Jess, no, you're never too old. Just embrace it. You have to embrace the culture. Us emo kids are never too old. We're all going to be 40 plus years old trying to mosh and realize that it doesn't happen anymore.
Well, her husband,
it's not a phase.
It's not.
It's a lifestyle.
I was telling
Well,
Carrie
her
that
husband,
last night.
when COVID first happened and we were all like on lockdown, he bought like lasers and stuff and would do like laser light shows in the living room.
This sounds like my kind of dude. Hell yeah.
You would really like Adam,
Jess,
yeah.
Go ahead and let him. He could, let him go. And if I get the grace of God shine upon me, God being Gerard Way, then go ahead. I'll meet up with him. He can join us, and we can go out there. We can sing that we're not okay, and really just let our hair, our black swooped hair down like we're Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 3.
Bully Maguire.
Yo, God. Gonna cry.
All right. So did you hear about the guy who created Blue Moon at Coors is now brewing drinkable weed?
What? No.
He says because it's liquid, it hits you quicker than smoking it or eating it.
And you don't got to smell like it either. It's awesome.
Well, it has to do with how the weed is infused into the liquid. And a lot of like small dispensaries now are like following in the footsteps of craft breweries as far as like marketing and everything.
Dang, that's
so
pretty rad. I gotta say, like, he was like, oranges are so last year, brother. It's time to take to the next level. What can I revolutionize next? We're gonna make drinkable weed. All those kids in their vape pens.
Like Jon Stewart. You ever drink any tea? You ever drink any tea with?
You're gonna go to the bar and be like, "Can I have 1 marijuanas in a glass, please?"
Yeah.
Give me your finest marijuanas on draft, please. Oh no, we lost Lauren. Where'd she go? She said, I had enough of this. She's out.
She is done with this conversation.
She is done with the conversation. All right. Well, she was like, drinkable weed. She's back, everybody. She is back. Lauren, you good? Like, what happened?
I started talking about weed and they kicked me off. I don't know.
No, I thought you quit.
I went black and I'm like, drink weed every day.
We thought you quit because you were like, there will be no marijuana talk in my household.
I have no problem with marijuana. I'm not even a fan of it, but I think it should be 100% legal. I can't even. I mean, I haven't done it in years, but I think it
really
should be legal.
Though it really honestly should. You have something else here that talks about, or did you already talk about?
Weed?
No.
I got a few things.
Your Palestinian honey and local IPA, Morocco.
Oh, that had to do with the breweries
it all blended
out
together.
Yeah.
I don't know where we're at over here. Jeez. Wow, you do.
Here,
have
I'll
a
go
lot.
through.
Holy smokes!
I know, I've had a lot. So, Kings and Convicts, the same people that bought Ballast Point Factory Constellation.
Akon and
they bought St. Archer Craft brand from Molson Coors.
Oh.
So I thought that's kind of interesting. It's like they're collecting craft breweries that have been sold
it's like Infinity Stones, but with breweries.
I think they just need to calm down for a minute and finish their brewery that they're building in Wisconsin. They've been building this thing for like 3 years.
Yeah, but they need that cheddar. They're prolonging it for some reason. I don't know reasons. It's not like they're getting paid by the government.
And it's not like we're not going to drink it.
No kidding. In a place like Wisconsin, you'd think you'd be able to build a brewery overnight by how much people would like flock there to drink.
Yeah, they're just losing out on capital by not
Especially
having it open for us to drink
season. At. Like, what is wrong with you?
I don't know. I need to get up to Wisconsin. I've only been there once, and I was like 17.
Wisconsin's amazing.
So Ology Brewing in Tallahassee is opening a location in Tampa. They're taking over. Yes, we do need to do that. But yeah, they're taking over the old Angry Chair location because Angry Chair is moving to a bigger location. If you haven't been to Angry Chair, next time you go to Tampa, you should definitely go to Angry Chair. Darwin Brewing in Bradenton closed. A Big Storm bought their recipes, and Magnum, I can never say this right, bought their equipment. So Big Storm, for those who are basketball fans, they opened up a brewery in Orlando inside the Magic Arena.
Oh, fancy.
And I don't have Florida craft breweries as my alert. I just have craft beer, but there was a lot of Florida beer news. So Florida Gulf Coast University in Florida now has a nano brewery featuring beers created by students, and a formal brewing program is in development. So we're seeing those kind of pop up everywhere. There's Madison Community College is offering a degree in fermentation science. I don't remember where that is.
Oh, when I was in Walla Walla, they actually offer a degree in like making wine and stuff. And you could actually go in there and drink the wine. And then University of New Hampshire has a degree that you can get in brewing.
Nice. But the wine, I feel like we've seen that for a while. Like that's been commonplace. Oh, I studied here for wine. It's like as far as beer, it's like you go to Germany.
Dump some grapes. I don't know.
Don't you step on the grapes? I don't know how to make wine.
I'm not ancient.
Yeah, USF, University of South Florida, and the Yingling Foundation partnered up to do a $5,000 scholarship for people of color interested in learning more about the science and art of fermenting and brewing beer, cider, and more.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So
You're good.
Oh, while on that, just a real quick blurb. Steve, who is running the brewing program over at Dry County in Georgia, he is partnering with Chattahoochee Tech in Chattanooga. A college in Chattanooga, and they're building a brewing program there that should be up and running next year.
Nice. I feel like you could make a country song out of what you just said.
Yeah, probably.
Way down yonder in the Chattahoochee. I learned brewing at the local brewery.
Oh, God.
Sorry, Matt. I know you hate that.
It
Um,
burns. It
Oh, here's
burns.
Tennessee Craft Brewers Guild started a campaign called Farm to Tap, and they're encouraging more homegrown farm products to be used in local craft beers, and not just hops and barley, but like the fruit adjuncts. So they're trying to give I guess they're going to do like tax write-offs and stuff to try to get more of these local farmers and breweries connected, because I know that's a big thing even with like the local hop farms in Florida. A lot of the local breweries don't use them because it's not economical. But if they can get tax breaks and whatnot, who knows what could happen? And it's better for the environment. So I thought that was pretty cool that they're trying to do that. Hopefully that pans out.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can be wildly successful keeping everything super local. Like that's what
Yeah.
New Glarus does. Like their whole
It's not fair. I
their
want
whole
the
mantra.
spotted cow.
I'll send you some.
Is it precious?
It is, but yeah, their whole model is everything that goes into the beers from Wisconsin, and then they only sell it to here. So I believe they get all their hops from the hop farm that's like 10 miles away from the brewery.
See, I love that because you can do that here in Idaho. There's Mill 95, and it's like I was talking to Rob, the owner of Woodland Empire. He was like, dude, when we're doing like fresh hop season, sometimes while we're brewing the beer, we'll drive up basically 30 minutes up the road to the farm, pick the hops, drive them down, and throw them in straight from the farm right there. And I'm like, whereas places that do fresh hop beer, they do them so rarely because it's like you have to overnight them and it's so expensive. Whereas it's so much cheaper for these Idaho breweries to do it because you just drive up the road, grab them, drive right down, throw them right in the beer. And it's why you see a lot of fresh hop beers either year round or there's like a big fresh hop festival all the time. And that's my goal this year is to go up to the hop farm with maybe a brewery. Maybe I can get up with Woodland or something. I always feel like I'm intruding upon their stuff when I'm always asking these questions or helping out with them, but I guess Rob will tell me to fuck off at some point. Hopefully, but I think that'd be really cool. Check out the hop farm, and so that's my goal for this year is to go to a hop farm and be able to harvest.
Yeah, they're really pretty.
So right outside of New Glarus, there is a tiny little town called Paoli, and inside of Paoli, there's a tiny little brewery called the Hop Garden.
Ooh.
The person who owns the Hop Garden owns the hop farm. So they trade hops for one of the breweries in Madison to make his beer recipes. So that there's almost no beer any fresher because the guy owns the hop
literally
farm.
right there at the farm. I mean, I mean, out here, I think if I ever move out of this area, I think that's the one thing I'm going to miss is the fact that the barley is all harvested right from Idaho. All your hops are either in Idaho or they're in Washington State. So it's just like you said, is you don't get fresher beer sometimes because of the fact that you can just go right up the road, get all the the supplies and things like that, and you're right there in such a prime location. And it's like, man, I want to own a hop farm one day. Like whenever Lauren and I open up our comic book themed brewery, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do it on a hop farm. That way we get the fresh beer.
Yeah, but we'll never live in the same place though, because you like the cold and I like the heat. So we're gonna have two. They're gonna be twin breweries.
Look, we're gonna have two breweries at two different locations, and it's gonna be the sickest thing. Mine's gonna be in like Vermont. You know why? Because Vermont's like the dopest hidden gem that you'll ever find. Just like it's the best hidden secret. Not enough people know about Vermont, and I like it.
I feel like beer people know about Vermont though. Beer people, you have to.
Yes.
I'm just going to toss out that Wisconsin at least deserves consideration, given that you are a team owner.
Look, my friends, I tell my wife all the time, like, look, when I retire, I'm going to go work for the Packers. I'm going to go work I'm going to do all the field tours, the Hall of Fame tours, all that. And she's like, I'm never living in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I'm like, okay, well, I'll see you a couple times a year then, because I'm going to live in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And I'm just going to work either at a brewery or I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be giving the tours at Lambeau Field all the time. Like that's my goal in life. Big dreams, I know.
You can come down to Florida and help me run the sister brewery.
Yeah. Just big dreams, you got to have dreams. And as a team owner, I got to be as close to my team as possible.
If you don't have dreams, how can you ever be disappointed?
Exactly.
What's that Gin Blossom song? They have that line in the song that goes, if you don't expect too much, you'll never be let down."
Yeah, pretty
I think
much.
that's
That's
in.
my
I
that's
think that's
or
another song. Yeah.
what does she say in Spider-Man?
With
If you're
great
always
power comes great
no, if you're
responsibility.
always expecting disappointment, you can never
Oh,
be.
what
Yeah,
MJ says. That,
yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
goo. Come on, it's like if you're always expecting disappointment, you can never be disappointed or something like that.
When you say, like, what do they say in Spider-Man? I mean, come on. What
Well,
else are
that
you
doesn't
going to
narrow
say?
it down. Well, I was thinking MJ because I was like, I can relate. MJ, her and I are always expecting disappointment. That way, we can never be disappointed. It's a great outlook on life.
I say,
Or at least
plan for no.
caught off guard by it.
Well, see, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So I am gonna have to wrap it up here in a minute. I know we're not quite gonna hit that hour mark today, but as I said, we've had the sicknesses. Jay's out of commission right now. Lucky is off living his best life, and I'm still. I gotta play basketball. And the worst part's I gotta wear a mask. But really, that's on me because I don't have to play basketball. I'm choosing to play basketball. But it means I can drink beer, and I chose not to drink beer today, so I can drink beer with you tomorrow, and then drink a lot of it on Saturday as well. So,
I'm gonna go finish this bottle.
Lauren's gonna sit in the corner finishing the
Bummer.
bottle. And Josh is gonna walk home, and it's gonna be like, "What's
breaking
going
up,
on?"
breaking up.
Why don't you go ahead, Dustin, if you can hear me this time, and
I can.
pimp Bottle Share, pimp your clothing line. Where can we find all that good stuff? And before we wrap it up, where can we find you and all that good thing?
I am on the Facebooks at Dustin Macaulay. It's pretty straightforward on the Facebook. I have a Bottle Share account, but I never check it just because everybody that I had on that account, like I was keeping my world separate because I do a lot of shit posting.
Same. Carrie's always yelling at my wife's always mad at me. She's like, "You need to not be doing that." I'm like, "Send." And
Yeah, Chris is my wife, and he usually gets mad at me.
I'm surprised he hasn't yelled at me yet, but I guess it's a matter of time.
You know what? I'm like the older brother.
That's fair.
I broke it in.
He's just like you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I have lightened up a little bit, but because of that, I made a Bottle Share account. But then everybody that I had professionally on Bottle Share on that account just added my personal page.
Don't you hate when that happens? You try to like do the right thing, and everyone's like, "Hey, look, it's Dustin. Why do you have two Facebooks?" And they're like, "Oh."
That backfired with my husband too. He had a real estate one and a regular one. He ended up deleting real estate one.
Yeah, it never works out like that. It just doesn't. That's like Twitter. I have a personal Twitter, but I use Bottle Share, I use Geeks, and I use my other one. It's like, why do I have a personal one anymore?
Yeah.
To complain about the government, that's why.
That's what I use mine for.
They'll never find you if you have multiple accounts.
Which one am I today?
I just tag whatever government agency that I'm dissing in whatever I'm posting, just so they know. There's no secret.
It's true. I mean, I gotta be a little bit more careful, but I do too. I'm like, what are we doing here, buddy?
Mm-hmm. I actually have lightened up a little bit because Spike just does it all for everybody now. Spike Cohen, shout out to Spike Cohen. He trolls so we don't have to.
That's true.
But yeah, so that's just it's just my name on Facebook. Go ahead and shoot me an ad if you want. I share Bottle Share stuff on there because I never log into the Bottle Share accounts because you do that.
I do. See, I do. I try to do that. Lauren does a lot of the Hops News stuff, so I try to do like the Bottle Share stuff and posting and all that kind of thing. So yeah, go to Bottle Share on Facebook, the Bottle Share one on Twitter, the Bottle Share one on Instagram, and we'd be New Boot Goofing on there.
Yeah.
New Boot Goofing?
So yeah, that's Facebook. That's anytime I hear that, I just see the scene in my head, and it's beautiful. Yeah.
I've only watched that sporadically.
Yeah. New Boot Goofing.
New Boot Goofing. So that's Bottle Share.
Right,
Share.
Bottle Share.
Yeah. So that's Bottle Share. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to tell Matt this is the part where you tell me what's going on with Geeks.
Oh, I
But
gotta tell you
you
what's going
can
on.
finish wrapping up.
Yes, I will tell you what's
Yeah.
going on with Geeks. Oh,
Yeah.
right now I will. Are you?
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
thought you were going to
All right.
ask me. But yeah, you
No.
say Geeks and then I'll give my outro.
Lauren, what do you give? What do you got coming up from Geeks?
We just dropped a Hunter Zolomon episode as part of the Legion of Doom. And pay attention, next week we'll be doing Peacemaker. If you haven't been watching Peacemaker on HBO Plus, the first 3 episodes are out. And it's more of a comedy than a drama, so
It's
I definitely recommend
great.
checking it out. Again, my Disney article is up on the website and the video on YouTube. And if you caught our episode the last time we had a Geeks Takeover with Carla Jean Lautner, she is mentioned in this new book that was written by Tara Nurin called A Woman's Place is in the Brew House. It's awesome. It's got info on beer goddesses, beer CEOs, nuns who brewed beer, how the witch's story is actually complete bullshit, which I kind of knew that, but I still really like that urban legend. So that's really cool. And what I'll do tomorrow is I'll actually post on our webpage with all of the links for all of the news we talked about, as well as a link to this book and the article. So if you want to donate to the thing that Matt mentioned, you can even do that on there. And of course, I will share that on probably the Facebook and the. You can share links in stories. So I'll share it in stories too.
Can you tell me exactly how you built your cosmic treadmill?
Do you want to know how a cosmic treadmill works? Because I was saving that for our next episode.
No,
of
save
Geeks,
it for our next episode of Geeks.
I
did
look it up.
I do have to.
Do you want to know how I made it look like I have a cosmic treadmill?
No,
because
you can't share the behind the scenes of the movie magic. What's wrong with you?
I just ran really fast and the lightning happened.
Yes, if you are not following us on the TikTok Fair Youth, then actually you're starting to miss out. We're finally getting the hang of it as the old biddies that we are. We're finally getting the hang on the TikTok there. So go ahead and search Hops Geek News or Hops News on TikTok. Lauren and I take turns.
Got one of these things.
Yeah, she's got a ring light. I kind of need to get one now to really lean into the influencer side of things. And yeah, we're making a lot of videos there. We're doing a lot of fun things on there. And go ahead and go to Instagram, Hops Geek News, where you can see a bunch of our reels, things like that. We got a lot of good things happen on there. And then go ahead and go to our Twitter account, Hops Geek News, where I'm usually on there just talking a bunch of bull crap, just being stupid. And but every once in a while you get some pretty funny tweets, like my Bruno and Fight Club one today. I thought that was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
It didn't quite hit the level that I was expecting, but you know, it's okay. Not everything's a winner. It is what it is.
It was a winner in my book.
I thought it was good. And you know what? That's all that matters. So go there. And then, as always, make sure you go to Hops News on all your podcast platforms. Search Geeks in the title. That is us. We dropped a bunch of episodes as of recent. We've been doing a lot of cool things. Like Lauren said, Peacemaker's coming out. That we're gonna talk about that show. Do a little deep dive in the character, and got a lot of fun things coming down the pipe. A lot of good movies coming out. And as always, make sure you also check out Feeling Lucky. I believe he just dropped his episode tonight. I saw the name of the title. I forgot it. I apologize, Lucky. And make sure you listen to Feeling Lucky. Check out those guys, Lucky, JJ, Big Daddy, doing great things. And Jay, we hope you rest up and get back to us next week. I don't know if I'll be here next week, but we'll see.
Bloodthirsty.
That's what it is. Thank you. Yes, check out that. And check out Hops News, all the platform, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that. Check us out there. Share with a friend. And Saturday, if you happen to be in the Boise area, I'm going to be at Woodland Empire around 5 o'clock before I head and go watch the Packers game. So I'm probably going to bring some geek swag, like sunglasses, stickers. Come grab that for me. Come say, hey, try the Donut Geek. Let me know how much you love it. Let me know how much you hate it. And just really support a good local brewery that really is near and dear to my heart. I'm going to be selfish for a minute. Y'all better be there or I'm going to fight you. I'm going to find you in the streets. Dustin, thanks for joining us, man. I'm sure I'll be talking to you soon. Lauren, thanks for hanging out as always. And I won't actually see you in 5 minutes. I'll see you tomorrow. But I'm going to talk to you both in 5 seconds. So thanks for chatting with us tonight. Sorry, it's a little bit of a wonky episode and we're ending a little early, but we'll see you guys next week with a full packed house, a full packed crowd, lots of great beers. And until next time, everybody, cheers to that.
Cheers. Cheers to Monster energy drinks.